and fortunately we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device. I mean,
with Microsoft's E3 2019 days away, that inspired me to do a review of the most infamous E3 conference this generation, Microsoft's E3 2013. Now I'm going to be honest, y'all. Watching this E3, it made me realize that this was a great E3, very underrated E3. But because of Microsoft's policies and some of the other things surrounding this E3, a lot of people overlooked the actual games. Well, I'm going to do a review of this conference, y'all. Let's get right to it. The first game they showed off was Metal Gear Solid 5. Even though this game was a multiplayer, it was pretty damn impressive to see a Metal Gear game on Microsoft's stage. So yeah, the conference got off to a really good start. Even though when the game actually came out, I absolutely hated Metal Gear Solid 5. But that's just me. Then this guy came out talking about the revised version of the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 was still selling pretty well, and he also showed off some new games coming like Grand Theft Auto 5, and also with your Xbox Live membership, you will now get 2 free games per month. And the first 2 games was Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. So this was a positive about the conference. Look at this. Our boy Phil Spencer came out there and announced a brand new Xbox One exclusive. And that Xbox One exclusive that Phil Spencer was talking about was Rise, Son of Rome. And let me be honest, y'all. I know this game didn't get good Metacritic scores, but most people thought the game was awesome. And the graphics was absolutely amazing. Hell, the game still looks good in 2019, so this is definitely a positive. This was an epic moment for this conference. I was a big Killer Instinct fan back in the 90s, and it was great to see Killer Instinct coming back. Rumor has it there's going to be Killer Instinct 2 revealed at this E3 2019, but who the hell knows? So this is definitely a positive for this conference. Next up, Ted Price from Insomniac Games came out there and announced a brand new Xbox One exclusive called Sunset Overdrive. Insomniac only worked on PlayStation games. It was amazing to see them on Microsoft stage. So this is definitely another positive about this conference. Next up was Forza Motorsport 5. Now, it's no secret that these companies want to show off their new hardware, and most of the time they release a racing game with the launch of a new system. And that's exactly what Microsoft did here. I'm more of a Forza Horizon guy, but there is a big fan base for the Forza Motorsport series. So this is definitely another positive about this conference. The next up, we had Sam Lake from Remedy Games to come on stage and show off Quantum Break. Quantum Break was a game that I really enjoyed. Even though the game came out 3 years after this conference, still is a big Xbox One exclusive. So like I said, this conference was packed with exclusive games. Next up was a game called D4. You know what? D4 should stand for dog shit, because this game was absolutely terrible. I bought this game at launch and it was very weird. The girl was acting like a cat, and it was some weird characters. The game was just terrible to me. It was supposed to have sequels, but they never came out because it was dog shit. Next up, this guy named Dave McCarthy came out there to talk about a game called Project Spark. If you didn't know, Project Spark was a game about making games. Listen, if I wanted to make games, I would have went to school for it. I want to play games. I don't want to make games. And Project Spark failed miserably. So I will admit this was not a positive. This was a negative about this conference. Next up was a guy named Mark Whitten. He pretty much came out there to talk about the DVR features for the Xbox One, Xbox Smart Glass, and some of the features that the Xbox One was capable of. So I guess this was a positive about the conference. The next game they showed off was a Panzer Dragoon game. Panzer Dragon, Panzer, who gives a shit? I didn't care about the game back when it was on Sega Saturn, and I didn't care about the game in 2013. Just imagine how I felt about the game in 2019. The next title they showed off was Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising 3 was a launch title for the Xbox One, and I absolutely loved Dead Rising 3. I enjoyed Dead Rising 3 way more than Dead Rising 4. And as you guys can see, Xbox was just dropping exclusive after exclusive in this conference. What the hell happened later on in the generation? Then CD Projekt Red came out there to show off The Witcher 3. Now, The Witcher 3 is my most favorite game this generation. I absolutely love The Witcher 3. But looking at this footage, The Witcher 3 didn't look like this. Holy shit, did that game get a downgrade. It still looked beautiful, but it didn't look this good. Then EA brought their asses out here and showed off Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 was a great game. It's good to see them on Microsoft stage, but nothing special here. But yeah, it's pretty good multiplayer to show off. Good old Phil Spencer came back out to show off a new indie game called Below. Yes, if y'all remember Below, yeah, they announced this game in 2013 and it came out last December in 2018. And I'll be honest, y'all, that shit was terrible. Look at it. It looked exactly the same. What took 5 years to make this game? Who the hell knows? But I didn't really care for Below. I don't think no one did. But it is what it is. The next game Philip showed off was a game called Shanghai Knights. Shanghai Knights was a game that was developed by the studio Black Tusk. Now, Black Tusk eventually became the Coalition. Yes, they stopped doing this game to create Gears of War 4. And it's very interesting to see if they will ever go back to this game. Who knows? But it was a cool looking game from the CGI trailer. At this point, we're close to the end of the show. But this is a Microsoft show. Of course they gotta show Halo. This was a nice Halo CGI trailer. Now, they didn't announce if this was Halo 5, Halo Master Chief Collection. They didn't say anything. They just said Halo. And if you're an Xbox owner, you know about Halo. So, of course, this is a positive for the conference.
Announced that Xbox One will launch this November in 21 markets around the world at $499 in the US, 499 euros in European markets, and 429 pounds in the UK.
Ouch. The price of the console really hurt. Phil Spencer's face said it all. But the last game they showed for this conference was Titanfall. Yes, Titanfall was a big game, and it was a big exclusive. EA usually didn't do too many exclusives. I don't know how Microsoft pulled this off, but this is a great way to end the conference. In my opinion, Microsoft's E3 2013 is the most underrated conference this generation. I felt this conference was fantastic. They showed exclusive after exclusive, great games. They showed so many things, but it was the other stuff that stopped people from enjoying this conference. It was the other stuff like Xbox policies, DRM, 24-hour check-in, always connected to the internet. Don Mattrick saying, we have a console for you. The $500 price tag. There were so many different things that made people say, no, I am a PlayStation guy now. I used to be a 360 guy, but Xbox is full of shit. And to add fuel to the fire, PlayStation took advantage of this.
PlayStation 4 won't impose any new restrictions on the use of PS4 gamers. Guess that's a good thing. We believe in the model that people embrace today with PlayStation 3 and continue to demand. Just heard you there. When a gamer buys a PS4 disc, they have the rights to use that copy of the game. They can trade in the game at retail, sell it to another person, lend it to a friend, or keep it forever. In addition, PlayStation 4 disc-based games don't need to be connected online to play. Or for any type of authentication. If you enjoy playing single-player games offline, PS4 won't require you to check in online periodically. And it won't stop working if you haven't authenticated within 24 hours.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
PlayStation